So, oh man, got ice water starter. So it's a man in the building. In the building. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey.
Ready to Love episode 3 reaction video. Look, if it looks like I'm in the same place around the same thing as the reaction video for episode 2, it's because I'm doing this at the same damn time. I started to make 2 videos about this, but I was like, look, each episode needs its own separate video. So I decided to let me go ahead and just post 2 separate videos. And I think I'm happy about that for the simple fact that episode 3, in my opinion, it had a whole lot that I want to get into for multiple reasons. So let's just get into this off top. Before we start, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the video, go to my Instagram, which is going to be either there or right there or right here or right here somewhere, and subscribe to my Instagram. Look, I'm going to admit this. I have no problem fighting for an Instagram follow. I want to know what you think about the videos. I want to know what you think about my opinion. I want to know what you think about the show. So I'm here to make comments. I'm here to interact with you guys. Let me know about the video. So anyway, episode 3, let's just get into it. Look, it is Ladies Week. Ladies get the opportunity to choose. And if you tell me, I always let the ladies know that, look here, we are going to eliminate 2 guys and y'all are in total control. So what I need you to do for a whole week is go ahead and examine these men. Make sure that's what you want in your life for this next few weeks. And then we're going to make that decision. Now, I think what a lot of women did not think about, and I saw this as what happened in season 1. At some point, that leverage is going to be turned. The rabbit's going to have the gun. One of my favorite sayings, it ain't fun when the rabbit has the gun. So there's a lot of women that they was happy to be in control, but hey, it's going to turn. That table's going to turn. So let's go ahead and get into the dates that we saw. First date was Chika and Nina. And the elephant in the room that Nina wanted to go ahead and address was, look, the outburst that Chika had at the little mixer, which once again, as I said in the last video, I thought that, I thought that Chika kind of reacted like a female in that role. He had a chance to defend himself. I think there were some things that he said that he could have clarified more, or at least he could have took more accountability about. But at the end of the day, it's hard, and I think he knew that as he was going through the whole video. Sorry for the bacon neck, y'all. I'm trying to adjust this. This mic kind of heavy. But the bottom line is, I think Chika quickly realized that, look, man, that wasn't the best move that I made. And I think he understands, or maybe I think he should understand that, look, his days are numbered. Him still being there, he's very lucky, and that he needs to do or go above and beyond to kind of press these women just to stay there. And if there's a connection if there is a connection that is there to make, he needs to go ahead, find that, and pursue it, and at least get one of these women on his side. Because I'm pretty sure these women are not happy about what happened. The next date we saw, fast forward to London and Alexis. And I'm gonna stay on Alexis as much as I can, because I can see it. I see through it. I keep on going back to being a former athlete, college football player. When you're around female athletes, or you're around women that, put it like this, they don't think that they are the baddest chick in the room. They know it. You got to be real careful with them. Once again, she said some things that was pretty kind of underlined that I think London picked up on, but you gotta stay cognitive of the fact that she mentioned, hey, look, long as I have your attention and I'm your number one, I'm gonna rock with you. As I said before, look, Alexis is gonna play you. She gonna hold you by the extreme, and she's gonna take you where you need to go until she gets what she wants out of you. After that, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that, after she gets what she wants out of you, she's gonna move and she's not gonna rock with you anymore. She kind of challenged London, in my opinion, on trying to figure out how serious he was. Was he just kind of a guy that, was there for some fun? and she wanted to get a little bit more knowledge about him, which I think is cool. But you have to understand and watch what it was, and that she was definitely trying to put out, this put out the fire of the idea that look, she may be high maintenance, she may be a pretty girl, which is what she said, that hey, she was a pretty girl growing up, but she was willing to jump in and scrap. She'd been through some juvenile detention sentence, that she kind of been locked up or whatever. Once again, she is a hard nut, and you don't want to get wrapped up in that outside facade that she have. I don't think she plays it, but she knows how to work it. That she looks like kind of like a little princess, and that that's something that's gonna kind of draw men in. So you got to watch her. I would say it like this: Alexis' personality naturally is what Divine wants to put out. If you get my drift, Divine wants to put out that hey, she's the pretty girl, but she's really not. That you got to get to know her. And you see it with Alexis, where Alexis just naturally shows that quality. It's not even something over front that she got to cultivate. She just rocks with that. You got to watch Alexis. Cat Daddy. Man, let's get into Textgate with Cat Daddy. Or as I call him, OG Kerry. And OG pulled one of the OG moves of the year with this text. So, let's get into the whole Reva deal. So Reva comes over to Cat Daddy's house, Kerry, as he wants to be called. She comes over to, Kerry's house, to rock with Kerry. He's having a little group date. Him, Reva, I believe that Dorian was there, also Nina and Kimber, which I think, I know this. As much as Kimber, I think what you read from the outside may not be all of Kimber. She like an old cat. And OG Kerry know that. That's like with Aisha. I think Aisha, and I said that initially during the casting review, that I think Aisha and Kerry may be a match for the simple fact that Kerry got that OG about him. You can tell. And he going to play this game to a T. So we got in the text gate. Reva hit Kerry with about this text that he sent kind of early in the morning. Sorry about the noise in the background. Like I said, I am at the golf course, at the golf club. But the bottom line is this. Kerry played that thing right. Even though it was a lot of BS, I think it was partial BS. I would say, let's go 70-30 BS to truth. I think Kerry did send that text to her on purpose. Initially, I thought maybe he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, but I think he initially sent that text message to Reva on purpose. It was intentional. But the reality is that I think Reva kind of misread it. And the excuse or the reason behind the text really pissed her off. Like I said, I think she's a woman that's about her she's been in the military. Trust me, she done turned off a couple lights, as my mother like to say. So she done been through it with some men. I think the excuse rubbed her the wrong way for two reasons. One, I think she thinks partially is BS. Number two, a part of it, she does believe, and it pissed her off that he caught on to some stuff, or caught on to some of her game, and that rubbed her the wrong way. But Kerry, like an OG, man, that boy Kerry, he rolled with the punches. He was ready to go. So we're going to see what the OG's into. And then also, this whole little connection between Dorian and Nina. Dorian better watch himself, man. I think that Ashima is really feeling him. I think she's making a genuine connection with him. I think the fact that he is kind of pursuing her as an attractive interest, not just the homie. He got to watch that, because I think Ashima, she ain't got no problem turning into the homie and addressing you like, look here, partner, I thought me and you was rocking. What you doing talking to this other broad? She seemed very territorial, and you've been, all up in her face, giving her the green light that is me and you rocking forever, which is what you should do. But I think in this setting with the Ready to Love, especially now, y'all are season 2, you should have seen the first season. You didn't just apply for this show blindly. The bottom line is you should understand that, look, you're going to have to play the field but you're still gonna have to try to find someone that you can lock on to. And hopefully these women understand that. Chances are they don't. But hopefully these women understand that, look, just because he may be, maybe mutual interest between this guy and somebody else, the bottom line is the fact that he is feeling you and that, it may be something there. We'll just see how this works out. But Ashima and that whole Nina deal, he's going to have to watch that. And then it's also interesting watching Nina bounce back from last episode when she was talking about slicing the heifer, giving the heifer $1.50 when she was talking to Tunde. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. So Brent and Aisha went out on a date. Well, Brent invited her over to kind of fulfill the date request that Aisha had with him, invited her over to a place. And they got into some heavy stuff. And Brent has kind of changed my mind of him for the simple fact that he is not afraid to kind of approach deep conversation, kind of go to a different level, which is interesting. I didn't realize, sorry about that, I didn't realize that he was married before. So him and Aisha made a connection, about being married, now being divorced, some of the issues that they went through as far as the aggressive situations in their marriage. And so I think that may be a connection there. I still say that Brent got somebody else on his mind. I want to say it's going to be Divine. And we're going to see about that. And we're going to see what Nina does also between him and Nina. But, now with Angie out the picture, and I think Angie was going to put on a full court press on Brent. We're going to see where Brent, excuse me for the burp, Jesus. We're going to see, where the pitfalls may fall for Brent. Or is Brent going to play the Mike role from last year where, Mike and I forgot her name, when they kind of rocked and just kind of kept it going. We're going to see if the Brent-Aisha relationship is going to be one of those things where they kind of just tied at the hip. We're going to figure that out. Now, let's get into what I really want to get into. That's Jimmy. And I think Jimmy made a step forward in the right direction. Jimmy and Tyrell got together, and, I don't know if they know each other or not. They look like they could be, frat brothers. But these boys had a frat bro meetup. That's what I'll call it. And the topic of it was Alexis. And I was finally glad that one of these men kind of took a step back and say, hold on. What's going on with Alexis, man? What is Alexis really showing us? Because you got to figure it out, man. At some point, Alexis, I'm not saying she's playing games, but you got to read the tea leaves, man. Alexis knows what she's doing. And I'm glad Jimmy was able to fix that up, to figure that out. I'm glad him and Tyrell got together, which is something that men don't do. And that's the bigger picture. That's the bigger point of this whole conversation, that I had about the Jimmy and the Tyrell meetup. Best believe these women are talking to each other, whether they texting, whether they're meeting up, even without nephew Tommy. Women are talking. And that's one thing that us as men, we don't do a good job of, especially black men. We do not communicate. And, if I was in that role, if I was Jimmy, or if I was just on a show, period, especially with a woman like Alexis, but with any of the ladies, I would have called these cats together and said, look here, man. Hey, look here, let's meet up at a happy hour. Let's meet up at a bar. Let's rock. Even if I couldn't get everybody at one time, I would have pitched up 2, 3 at a time and say, look here, man, what you think about these ladies? What you think about like Aisha? Look, Brent, I know you feeling Aisha, and I ain't trying to step into that, but, what I'm saying? Tell me what your read is. Or if, because Brent and Aisha seem like they rocking, look, Brent, this is my read on Aisha. Tell me what your read is on Alexis. What is Alexis really here for? Kimber, you know what I'm saying? My personal opinion is what Kimber presents, and we're going to get onto that later after after I talk about that date between Kimber and Jimmy. I think the presentation of Kimber, her outside is not what her inside represents. Like if you see her, my initial impressions of Kimber is like, look, I don't want to call her thought, but look, top notch, get the most, not the less. I would think that she's definitely superficial. But after hearing her talk, I don't know if that's true. Once again, the conversation about Alexis, what's going on. And I like the fact that, that call came and Tyrell kind of, put her on Front Street. Well, he didn't put her on Front Street, but it was displayed that, look here, she calling, she breaking the date, and it could be natural that, look, she don't just feel Tyrell. And I don't think a lot of the ladies do feel Tyrell because I think Tyrell, like I said, kind of lacks a little confidence, and what he's trying to say, what he's trying to present isn't what necessarily he's trying to say. But the bottom line is the fact that, I think that conversation was good, and men have to have that conversation because men don't have that conversation at all. We don't have it prior to getting in a relationship. We don't have it during a relationship or a marriage. And I tell you, one of the biggest things we don't have it is before you get married, which is one of the things that I think, look here, us as men, we got to do a better job of. You can't just go through this ideal of, hey, you get married, so you're going to do that, bro. And, kind of have this laughing like he's going to figure this out. No. Tell these folks the truth. That's one of the things I do with my partners. Like, I was the first one out of my group that got married. And one of the big things I always did with everybody else that came next is, like, I put them up on game. Look here, your wife is going to change. It don't matter how long y'all dated before y'all got married. Women change, and that's natural. You're going to change. What you like, or what you saw, or what you like, or how you saw the world at 24 is not going how you going to see it at 30. It's not going to be how you going to see it at 35. The way she was when y'all was rocking, a lot of my friends met some of their wives in college. Where I met my now ex-wife or half-wife or whatever the hell we doing. But the bottom line is this. How you were at 19 or 20 or 21, that changes. Children changes. Finances changes. Moving together changes. Being totally locked in changes. And like I said, I commend, stand up, to Tyrell and Jimmy for having that conversation and trying to figure out Alexis. Because like I said, that sister there, sexy as hell, but she's going to be a tough nut to crack. So, let's move on from the Jimmy Alexis saga, or Jimmy beating up with Tyrell. Let's get back on to Reva. So Reva, out of nowhere, at least it seemed out of nowhere, invited Tyrell over for a date. That was funny. Let's just call that the Tyrell date. And at that point, you realize, like, Tyrell, baby, look, boy, you need a coach. Tyrell seems like he'll be a cool partner. He's one of those guys, and you know them. You know that guy that got every look. The boy's smart. I think he's intelligent. He's very thought-provoking. He's taking care of everything. He got a job. The bottom line is he just don't know how to really talk to these women. And that's just it. And so because of that, you could see during that initial kind of date at her house, the fact that he came in, he seemed like he had some words that he was going to say. He got through his first spill of lines, and then all of a sudden he started struggling like, hold on, man. But this wasn't supposed to go past 3 or 4 minutes. She's supposed to be like, okay, I got something to do. I'm going to need you to check out. I'll see you later. But she was really there. I think she was really feeling him. I think he's an attractive dude. He's a good-looking brother. My thing is he just got to be assured of himself and assured of what he's looking for. I think the fact that his father's a pastor, he has a background in his faith, I think he's running a conflict between that. But it was just funny as hell watching that interaction. And you literally saw a man talk himself out of a potential situation with the woman, which is funny because you've seen it before. That's all I got to say about the Tyrell date. I don't even think of it as a Reva Tyrell date. I just think it as a Tyrell date, period. Last thing we get into, our last date we really saw was Kimber and Jimmy. And like I said, I think off top, those two have real chemistry. It's the fact that they're in the same industry. Like I said in the last review, or both reviews, their paths have to have crossed at some point. He calls himself, the top-notch listing agent or whatever in Atlanta. She's in real estate. She's an attractive woman. You can see it from the top of her head to the sole of her feet. That's an old country fine woman. The paths had to cross. I think she knows a little bit about him professionally. And the fact is that I think that's his match. What I do think is the fact that Jimmy is going to have to let Alexis go. Alexis is going to be Jimmy's downfall. Let Alexis be London's downfall. You need to focus in on Kimber. You need to lock it in. Understand you need to go on dates. You need to mix it up. You have to do that with other women. But you need to go ahead and lock that in, man. That's It's just the fact of what you got to do. You got to make sure that Kimber understands that Alexis is a non-issue. She's not even a threat, not to Kimber, but to you. I think they have real chemistry, man. And like I said, the only thing that Jimmy could do is ruin that chemistry with allowing Alexis to stay around and stick around, because I think that's what Alexis does. Because, as I said before, Alexis plays the man role. And because of that, that's the reason why she said initially she's trying to find a man that can be an alpha or let him lead. And the reason why you have never found a man to let you lead is because you take that role. And for a man to lead with you, he's going to have to be uber confident about himself and be able to control that narrative with you. And that narrative is going to have to be confidence. He's going to have to kind of take his step, take his place in front of you, do that intentionally and initially, and force you to go to the background. And a lot of men are not able to do that with her. I could tell there's something that's going on in the past. So at the end of the episode, you get to this situation with Nephew. Tommy brings all the women together. One of the things that he talks about in the episode is, look here, we got to eliminate 2 guys. And, eventually we figure out who those 2 guys were. He gave 3 options. One ended up being Tyrell, one ended up being the OG Kerry, and then others being Chika. So Tyrell gets put in that place essentially for the fact, like I said, I don't think he understands or knows how to really, he's not comfortable with talking to women outside of what he's kind of predetermined in his head, and that comes off initially with him. The second guy is Chika. And I still think Chika just put a bad taste in every last one of those women's mouth when he kind of went overboard. Not kind of went overboard. When he went left on Ashima. Like I said, he didn't have to do that. That was unnecessary. I don't condone the move that he did, but I do, like I said, I am in agreement with the idea that, look here, if you approach me, I don't want to say attack, or confront me on the same level, I'm fully within my right to respond at that same level. And if you want a certain amount of decorum and respect in my response, you have to give me that when you are trying to communicate with me. And like I said, I'm going to go back to the fact I really think that just turned him off to a lot of those women. Third being OG Kerry. And the truth is about OG Kerry is Reva just pissed off that she got played. She didn't like that response. She didn't like that OG Kerry, had something predetermined. He had a response for her when she brought that situation up. She thought she was going to have her aha moment where she caught him in a situation where he was going to be uncomfortable and unprepared. And that's one thing that women don't like, in my opinion. Women don't like you to be too prepared for them. Women like to try to catch you off guard. And I go back to catching you in a lie, or catching you when you're not prepared for things. When they catch you and you hit them with a preparedness, you hit them with a kind of a methodical thought, that infuriates them. That infuriates that woman's intuition. And all you did was just basically kind of, develop an enemy. And so, at the end of the day, the last person that was left was OG Kerry. And I liked his response. And I think it was interesting who delivered the message. And that was Kimber, who I think that there's going to be a natural attraction between Kimber and OG Kerry. And like I said, I like the fact that OG Kerry responded to Reva, saying that basically she's over. It's a done deal. Even though Kimber was saying, look, I wanted you to stay here because I think there's attraction between you two. I like that fact that he said, nah, that's good. It's over with her. I'm not going to go into that crap with her. If she want to be on that bullshit as far as taking that way too personal of a text that, what he sent, which, look, that text was a little, you can see where it can be offensive. Let's just be honest. But it is the fact that I like the fact that he kind of responded the way he did with that. And he just did the situation. It's like, look here, I stayed on. The bottom line is she's a dead issue to me. I ain't worried about her no more. And that's the way an OG is supposed to respond to it. So look, that's my reaction to Ready to Love episode 3. I'm going to ask you again, comment, like, subscribe on the episode. Follow me on Instagram, which is going to be posted above my head or probably below me. I want to hear from you. I'm out. Gone.